Hello everybody, this is Lara, Pure Elliott Wave. I want to let you know that I'm going to be part of an Elliott Wave Hub forecasting event from FX Traders Edge on the 17th of August. I'm going to put a link in the description box down below of this video for you to go to this page and click on to register for this event. 17th of August, these are the people presenting, and I'll be presenting at 3 p.m. and I'm going to do an Elliott Wave presentation covering Bitcoin and the S&P 500. If I have enough time in my hour, I might also cover NASDAQ or gold, and let me know in the comments below which of those two markets you'd be most interested in. And also maybe let me know how interested you are in me covering Bitcoin and the S&P 500. I'm pretty sure everyone wants me to do something on Bitcoin. I have some ideas of Elliott Wave stuff I can do on Bitcoin for you for that presentation. So please click on the link below, go to this forecasting event page and register to see my presentation on the 17th of August. If you register, you will get an offer. As part of attending the event, you'll be able to sign up for a free monthly membership to my Pure Elliott Wave Weekly. That means you'll get your first month's membership free, once a week analysis of Bitcoin, S&P 500, gold and oil. You can cancel any time in that month and still receive access to the whole month, and you won't be charged a thing. You'll also get a free download of my eBook, Pure Elliott Wave, and one person who registers and views my event will get free lifetime access to my online course, Learn Pure Elliott Wave. I'm going to put links to both of these pages below so you can have a look and see what's involved. If you win access to this online course, you get 20 lessons of in-depth learning for the Elliott Wave principle and access to me to give you feedback on your Elliott Wave work, on your wave counts. Okay, I'm going to look at Litecoin today with you. I'm going to update my analysis for Litecoin. I'm just going to have to turn my fan on. I'm sorry, I thought I could do this without it, but no, it's still really hot here in Mexico. So my Litecoin analysis, let's view this on a semi-log scale because you can't view cryptocurrencies on an arithmetic scale. It just doesn't make sense. My Litecoin analysis sees a first wave at cycle degree over here, a second wave over here, a first wave, second wave, and then another first and second wave. Oh, okay, this is actually more bullish than pretty much any of my other Elliott Wave counts for crypto. I'm not too sure about the proportion though of intermediate waves 1 and 2 compared to primary 1 and 2. This could continue lower, and I think I'd have to consider that an alternate. Primary 2 could be an expanded flat, subdividing A, B, C, but not to move beyond here. This is the bottom line, 22.82478. That would be my final invalidation point for this wave count. So this is my weekly chart. I was expecting intermediate 2 to continue lower. This is my daily chart. Yeah, I was expecting it to continue lower. It has. I want to try and figure out, is it over? So I'm looking at a double zigzag for intermediate 2. I've got W, X, Y. Let's have a look at minor wave Y. So it's well above the invalidation. It looks like it could have completed a structure. What's it doing? No, I think I want to see A and B over here. This doesn't look very good. I think I've got this part wrong actually. It doesn't look right. 4 could be over here as a combination. I'm not sure about this triangle either, to be honest. Let's get rid of that because it doesn't have that great a look, and see if we can see this over here. Will it fit? I think I need to see this back here. This may be a combination, and then could this be an ending diagonal? No. 3 is longer than 1, 4 is longer than 2, but 5 is not longer than 3, so it doesn't meet the rules regarding an ending diagonal. Let's try again. I don't think this is going to work. Yeah. Oh no, maybe it will. Maybe this is an ending diagonal. No, because this is going to be, no. I don't want to, oh, can I see, no. Could this be an impulse? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. Actually, that's okay. This last fifth wave looks really good. Nope, I want to put this down here. Okay, so we could have A and B. Is C going to be complete? Could intermediate 2 be over at this low? And then we'll look at some classic technical analysis and have a look and see if there's any evidence of a sustainable low in place. No, I think I want to see this here. And I think I can see a 5 in here. And I think I can see a 5 in here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. What about this though? I don't know if this is going to work. That's a horrible looking third wave. Oh, I think maybe the answer is the fourth wave was a triangle. This might fit. But is it going to look okay? Are the trend lines going to fit? Oh yeah, that actually looks really good. Yep, I'm happy with that. Invalidation point the same. Now I want to see if there's strength in this upward movement, indicating some strength off lows. That's what we want to see to have some confidence in a sustainable low. I had an alternate. So my alternate expected upward movement for Litecoin, and I did this back in January this year. Yeah, a few months ago now. Okay, let's look at some technicals. Let's look at the weekly chart first. Let's look at this prior low here in December 2018. How did the technicals behave here? So volume was showing a little bit of an increase. Well, no, actually overall a decline to that low. On balance, volume was making lows with price. Here's the low, and ADX only caught up with the downward trend a little bit before back here. So it never got to the point where the trend was extreme. RSI reached oversold at the weekly chart level, did it? Or maybe just. Okay, the close here, 31.85591. And the close here, 22 point, okay, no divergence. The close here, 40.7750. There is divergence between this point in RSI and this point in RSI. Price is closed lower, but RSI is higher. So there was a little bit of bullish divergence. It's really not that clear though. It's there, but it's pretty short. Not really that clear, because it's between this point, and this isn't showing divergence. I'd rather it was clearer. Money flow index, no divergence and didn't reach oversold. Stochastics oversold. ATR declined throughout the bear market and mirrors price. At this low in December 2018, there was a bullish candlestick reversal pattern, a morning doji star that is comprised of 1, 2, 3 candlesticks, a red body, a little doji, and then a green body closing well into the prior red body. So that's a bullish candlestick pattern, and it's in the correct context of a downward trend. The third candlestick, the volume is 3.8 billion. The first candlestick, the volume is 3.1 billion. So the third candlestick, this bullish candlestick, shows an increase in volume, adding confidence to this bullish reversal pattern on the weekly chart. So that's really interesting. That low would have not necessarily been that easy to identify, but there was a little bit of an indication that very little weak divergence between price and RSI and a bullish candlestick pattern. Okay, let's take a look at the current low. Let's have a look at candlestick patterns first. There's a bullish candlestick pattern for the week beginning 19th of June 2022. This candlestick pattern, the volume is 5.4 billion. The previous downward session, 6.2, so it doesn't have support from volume. We don't always see that. Let's expand volume out. So yeah, here it is. This one here. Volume's declining on that week. So we don't always see an increase in volume right off the lows for these cryptocurrencies. When we do, we can have more confidence, but when we don't see it, it doesn't necessarily mean that the low can't be sustained. I've noticed quite a few sustainable or sustained lows for these little altcoins don't show immediate support from volume off their sustained lows. On balance volume would have given us a bullish signal here. Let's pull a little trend line in, I'll show you what I mean. If we put a trend line across these peaks here, there would have been a bullish break above resistance here. So on this week, the week beginning 3rd of July 2022, there's a bullish signal from on balance volume. It's not particularly strong, but it's not weak, so it's a reasonable signal. So that adds a little bit of confidence that there may have been a trend change. Let's take another look at volume and see what that's doing. It's lighter for these upward weeks than it is for these prior downward weeks, so we're not yet seeing an increase in volume for upward weeks. That's a bit concerning for the bullish case for Litecoin. On ADX is still indicating a downward trend. Back here it indicated an upward trend which was very extreme. It's caught up with a downward trend which is not yet extreme. Oh, RSI is oversold here at the weekly chart level. Let's real quick squish this up. That only happened possibly almost a little bit back here at that last low we looked at in December 2018 and at the very beginning of Litecoin's price history. So when this reaches oversold at the weekly chart level, that's actually pretty bullish. That's very extreme. It tells us the downward trend is very extreme. Is there any divergence? I'm looking at closing prices. Okay, the oversold low for RSI corresponds exactly with the with the low for price. So there's no bullish divergence, but it has clearly reached oversold. So that's good for the bullish case. Money flow index, I think, may have exhibited some bullish divergence. The closing price here, 40.6040, and the closing price here, oh yeah, 120. So price is closed quite a lot lower, but money flow index is a lot higher at the low here at this point. That's some good strong bullish divergence. Added to RSI being oversold, that's pretty solid, or it's good evidence for a bullish case if you want to draw a bullish case from this. And ATR again mirroring price. Let's look at the daily chart level now. And let's start with looking at, let's go from top to bottom again, do this logically in order. We have the low on the 14th of June at $40.68.04. This real body doesn't look strong enough to be, well, let's just see if this is a piercing pattern. It is. It's closed just a little bit more than halfway into the real body of the previous red candlestick. So there's a bullish candlestick pattern off the low at the daily chart level. And then the second day session, we see a little increase in volume. On this session here, we see quite a bit of an increase in volume. We're looking at the daily chart volume bars, and we are seeing strength off lows. Just a few days after, we now see quite a strong increase in volume for an upward session on the 19th of June, 1.4 billion. Okay, that's another little piece of evidence to support a bullish scenario. On balance volume would have given some bullish signals. I'm going to bring a little trend line in here. On this session here, on the 16th of July, on balance volume breaks above resistance, which has got multiple tests. It's not too long held, but it's not short, and it's very close to horizontal. So that's a reasonable bullish signal from on balance volume supporting a bullish case. ADX at the daily chart level reached extreme for the downward trend here and again here, and now it's declining, and now at the daily chart level ADX is caught up with a potential trend change indicating an upward trend. That's bullish. RSI at the daily chart level at the low. I don't know if this divergence is going to be bullish. In fact, this point looks a little bit lower. Let's bring in a horizontal line and just test that. It's either the same or ever so slightly lower, so no bullish divergence from RSI, but it has reached oversold. Money flow index is showing some bullish divergence. This is why I like to add it. It's a little bit more sensitive sometimes as it adds in volume, not just price calculations. So prices closed lower, but money flow index has not made a corresponding low after reaching oversold. This divergence is bullish. That adds also to a bullish case. Stochastics at the low here, no bullish divergence. And ATR overall mirroring price. Let's have a look and see how it's behaving for recent days. Yeah, price falls, ATR falls, price is starting to rise, ATR is starting to rise. So there's some strength or increased volatility in that upward movement. I think it's reasonably likely that Litecoin has found a sustainable low, and if that's the case, then my Elliott wave count is looking for a third wave at 3 large degrees for this one. This is a very bullish wave count. I don't want to try and calculate targets for you. I am very uncomfortable with trying to calculate targets for any of these cryptocurrencies. My experience with targets with Bitcoin is it blows them all away. None of my targets ended up in 2017 being anywhere near. They were way too low, far too conservative, and I was using Fibonacci ratios. That's what I use to calculate targets. So I don't want to do that for you. Well, I do want to. I think that the probability that the next third wave up is going to be a long extension is very high indeed. If you look back here at the start of cycle wave 1, you see primary 1 and 2, and then intermediate 1 and 2. Intermediate 2, the low here, 2.54379 remains above the high for primary 1, so it doesn't overlap back into primary 1 price territory. But then after that, we have another series of 1, 2, 3 overlapping first and second waves as price essentially moves sideways at the start of this third wave at primary degree. That is a really typical look for cryptocurrencies and appears to be well, obviously Litecoin's done it before. It looks like it's doing it again at a much higher degree. This is an extremely bullish wave count. I would expect, look, I'm going to have a go. I'm going to apply this ratio that it exhibited between primary waves 1 and 3 to within cycle 1 to primary 1 and 3 within cycle 3. Let's have a go at that. Then a reasonable target will be 8,943. So primary 3 was 71.7374 times the length of primary 1 within cycle 1. If primary 3 within cycle 3 exhibits that same multiple, that's a reasonable target. So I'll have a go at that. Let's see how that one unfolds. But I also did want to have a go just to try and illustrate how extreme these third waves can be. They have been in the past. They certainly could be so again in the future. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you got to the end, I admire your perseverance because this can be rather dull, but I hope that it was worth it. Thank you so much for your support, and please, if you could support me, you would do so by registering for that event, and you'll get free access to my analysis for a whole month, and you'll get my ebook. And you will go in the draw to win a prize, free access to my online course, Learn Pure Elliott Wave. I think those are some pretty good rewards for you for registering, so please go over and do that for me. Thank you.